Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There's nothing too good for a girl that's so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Bought you a fur coat for Christmas, a diamond ring, a Cadillac car, and everything. Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you?
Greetings, peeps, and welcome to Music Elements Online. I'm your host, Dr. Tim Hendrickson. You can call me Dr. H. Everybody does. I'm going to be your host for the next several weeks for this course. So, just a little bit about me. I am your professor. I go by Dr. H or Dr. Hendrickson, not Mr., not my first name, Dr. H. Dr. Hendrickson. So when you address me through email, online, see me in the street, see me at the bar, it's Dr. H. So just to let you know, that's my name. You'll find that other than wanting to be called Dr. Hendrickson, I'm a pretty laid-back guy. I'm pretty easy to get along with, pretty easygoing. So we're going to have a lot of fun together in this course. We're going to be learning about music, and I think you're going to really have a blast. So let's get right to it. About this course, this is essentially an elementary music theory course. So what does that mean? It means that we're actually going to be learning about the mechanics of music. We're going to be learning about things like pitch or notes and rhythm and meter. And we're going to be learning about something called accidentals. And then to sort of demonstrate what we learn in here, we are all going to compose a melody. Yes, you are going to get to compose your own piece of music, and we will talk more about that as we get closer to that assignment. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about attendance and grading. This is an all online course, so we have no physical or virtual meeting time. That means that you are responsible for logging on and getting your work done on your own. There is no regular meeting time that you log on unless you set it. Okay, so just understand this is all on you. The attendance will be taken through your participation, meaning through the completion of your assignments, through communication with your professor, through email. That's how we take attendance. And I will be sending out periodic emails saying, please respond to this email with a simple got it, Dr. H, and that's your attendance. That's how you get your attendance taken. Grading is very simple. You do the work, you make an A. It doesn't get much simpler than that right there. Please understand that I grade on effort and participation every bit as much as I do on correct answers and good exam scores. So if I see that you are making an effort, if I see that you are participating on the in-class assignments, that you're doing the discussion topics, you are going to make an A. Even if you don't do 100% on all the quizzes and worksheets and exams and so forth, you're going to make an A simply by virtue of your participation and your trying. So please understand, I'm not looking, yes, of course, we want you to answer it correctly, but I'm not just looking for correct answers. I'm looking for you to be engaged in the course and participate in the course. Use your time wisely. There is something on our D2L site, our e-learning site, called the Detailed Course Calendar. I urge you to take a look at this as soon as possible if you have not already done so. You are able to budget your time by using this detailed course calendar. You can see when things begin and when things end. A little bit more about that in a moment. The course is structured kind of unusually in that there are two sides to the story. We have an online textbook side, and then we have an e-learning side, or the D2L side. So on the e-learning side, we have announcements, the course syllabus, discussion topics, the online textbook link, and the course section descriptions. And we have a module called Useful Stuff. I encourage you explore all this and just see what's there. We also have on the online textbook side, this is where you will have all of your assignments, your reading, the worksheets, graded and ungraded. And by the way, yes, even the ungraded worksheets count. Everything counts. Now, because they're ungraded, right? Because they don't count towards your final score, excuse me, yes, you could blow them off if you want to, but if you do them, it's only going to help you. It's only going to help you understand the material better. So I encourage you to do them. Don't ask me if they count. They do count. If you don't want to do them, that's entirely up to you, as are all the other assignments. You could blow everything off and fail the course. That's up to you. Also on the online text is the quizzes and, of course, the exams. And you can always check your current grade on the online text. If you want to know what your current grade, the most accurate representation is, go to the online text. That's where it's going to be. Your grade will be transferred, to e-learning, but that takes time, partly because of the attendance recording. So if you want to know exactly where you stand in the course, email me. I'll be happy to let you in on that. Or look at what's on our online text. That grade right there is pretty much representation of how you're doing. If I see that you're doing really poorly and you're missing a lot of assignments and you just don't seem to be grasping the concepts very well, I will email you and we will work out a time to talk about what's going on. Perhaps we can even meet face to face, either in my office, or we could do a Zoom meeting and have some things clarified for you. So before we go, let's take a look at our online text and our e-learning site. Okay, let's take a look at our e-learning site first. First of all, when you initially log on to e-learning, obviously you're going to see the e-learning homepage, your homepage, which will list all of the courses that you happen to be enrolled in. And you click on our course, which is MUS 100 FA 810. And it's going to bring you to this particular page, or one that looks very much like it. And you can see how this is laid out. It's pretty straightforward. If this is your first time using Brightspace or D2L, it might seem a little bit confusing to you at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's going to be a breeze for you, I'm sure. As you see up here in the upper left-hand corner, you see a home button. If you press that, you're going to be brought back to the e-learning site homepage, your homepage that lists all of your courses. This particular tab is the course home button. If you press that, it's going to bring you right back to this same page that we're on right now. The home page is where I will have all of the announcements. If there are any changes to the course schedule or course calendar, or any type of pertinent information that I feel you need to know about, this is where you're going to find it. And as you have already probably surmised, this is also copied to you in an email. While we're on this page, let me just mention to those of you who may be using your cell phones to do your online work, don't forget to scroll down to the bottom, because there's a lot more information down there than what is on the surface. And you could potentially miss something very important by not scrolling down. Also, while we're on the home page, let me point out to you that there is a calendar on the home page. If you see here, this just shows you what is coming up that is due. This does not show you the date ranges, and it's not a complete or detailed calendar. Okay, this is not the detailed course calendar that I'm talking about. We're going to look at that right now. If we go over to the content tab, you can see in this page that we have a series of modules here, table of contents that shows you all we have here. And let's just go to that first one, which is the course syllabus. You can read through this at your leisure. It doesn't contain anything really earth-shattering, but it does contain some very important information. So I would encourage you, if you have not read the syllabus, to please go ahead and do that. You also have a link to your online text. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And then here is the infamous detailed course calendar. So let's just take a look at that right now. If we click on this module, we are brought to this page, and this is the detailed course calendar. You can see how it's laid out. You have a start date column, and you have an end date column. And of course, the column in the middle is telling you what section, class, and title is going on. The start date and end dates just simply show you the date ranges that you have to start and complete the assignment in. Most of the sections you have between 2 and 3 weeks to complete each section. So you have quite a bit of time, but I urge you, make the best use of your time. Don't squander it. You can also see in the detailed course calendar when the midterm begins and when it ends, and when our composition project starts and ends. I mentioned this to you on the detailed course calendar. The composition project draft and feedback deadlines. I give you until December 7th to submit your project in draft form. And that gives me an opportunity to take a look at that and give you some feedback. We'll talk much more about that later as we get closer to that project's start dates. Okay, and then you'll notice that each of these sections, if you click on these modules, it just gives you a description of what's in the section. There will be other things added to these. For example, I will have an instructional vid for the keyboard for you to watch and so forth. So just watch for those updates, and you'll be emailed when they are placed in the module for you. Okay, so each of these modules just simply tells you what's there. These do not contain the actual assignments. Remember, your actual assignments, worksheets, quizzes, exams, and so forth are all found on our online text. You have a module here called Useful Stuff. If you click on that, this is exactly what it is. It's just giving you links to external useful things. It also is giving you some PDFs that you can download. These all pertain to things that we are going to be utilizing throughout our course. This musictheory.net can become a very useful site for you. If we click on that, we're brought to this page, and you can see here that we have some choices on some apps if you want to download these apps. Now, I'll tell you now, these apps are for Apple or iOS. They are not for Android. I've begged the developers to make apps for Android because we all don't have iPhones. But if you do happen to have an iPhone and you really want to get into more musical theory and learning some different things, these two apps can work for you very nicely. If you skip on up here to the top tab here, you see lessons. If you click on that, you can see all of the lessons that are available to you. And this is nothing different than what we're learning in our online text. It's just presented to you in a different way. And we'll talk more about these tools. You also have exercises here. These are drills quizzes. This does not affect your grade. This is just something that you can use to help you learn the material, and it's just an extra tool. Nothing extensive and nothing that's going to cost you anything. It's all free. Okay, so let's go back to the Contents tab and just again notice how everything is laid out for you on the left, including the due dates. You'll see the start and end dates are all by each of these modules. And then you have this Grades tab. If you click on the Grades tab, right now you're not going to see much of anything other than something called Weekly Attendance. You don't need to worry about that. I am going to be taking care of that for you, so please don't give this another thought. We're going to be utilizing email to record your attendance. So more about that a little bit later. And then we will take a look at the Activities tab, and notice if we click on that, we get a drop-down menu. Just go all the way down to Discussions. And that brings us to our first discussion, which is Introductions. Notice how we have from August 25th until September 28th to complete this. This is an assignment. It's the only assignment that is found on our D2L or e-learning site. If you click on this topic, Introductions, and by the way, you can see here, this is telling you what the instructions are as to what you should do. Click on that, and it brings you to the discussions page, and you'll see where people have posted their discussion introductions. If you want to post something, you have to subscribe. So you got to subscribe to the topic first, and then you are welcome to post your own introduction. And then, as I have said in the instructions, you just simply post 2 short responses to 2 of your classmates. And that's really all there is. The Communications tab, if you click on this, you can go to a class list. This gives you all of the other students in our class that you can email if you wish, or you can email all of your classmates if you wish. And then we have something called Course Tools. If you click on that, you can just see calendar, class progress, media library. Much of this you really won't have to worry about because I don't really use much of this. All of what we use, the majority of the stuff is on our online text. You do have some help desk, a help desk tab. You can email or contact the e-learning help desk. You can also go to what's called library resources. Again, this is not really anything you're going to need for our course. We are going to stay largely within those first 2 contents tabs and of course the activities tab, and perhaps if you wish to talk with other students, the communications tab. Okay, so let's go back to contents and let's just have a look at our online text. So we'll go up here to the online textbook link, and we will click on the link. And it will bring us to our On Music Fundamentals text, our online text. Now you can see here how things are laid out. All of them are by section and class. So section 1 has 3 classes in it. Section 2 has a couple of classes in it, and so forth. So all of these are sections. Let's just open up the first one. And you see that each section also has what's called a section overview. And if you wish, there's a video you can watch. There's reading that you can do. The video simply is going to be reading that info for you. You also have some icons up here, show me, keywords, and discover video. These are all tools that you can use. At any time you want to go back, you can click on the backwards arrow or any of the arrows, and it'll take you back to where you were the previous page. And you can also click back on what's called the dashboard. That's going to bring you to a series of, if you were to have like more than one Connect for Education text, this is where you would find the rest of them. We don't really need to worry about that. The home button is going to do just about the same thing. So let's just get back into our online text and have a little more in-depth look at what's there. So once again, you have section overview, you have the introduction to each of these sections. You click on those, and this is exactly what it says. It's just going to bring you into that. Again, look at these orange arrows. They are helping you to navigate. You click on the next arrow, it brings you to the next page. And you'll notice here that it gives you some other tools. And I'm going to bring one of the tools up. You see here it says virtual keyboard. You can bring up this virtual digital keyboard and you can play with it as often as you wish. Notice that when you hover over the keys, it shows you in this window what key you are playing and its octave designation. So you also have some wonderful tools available to you. The book is very well laid out. It's very user-friendly and very interactive. I can't stress enough at how great opportunities that you have to just play around and experiment, and I encourage you to do this. But I wanted you to take a look at some of the built-in intuitive tools that the text has, such as Show Me. If you click on these Show Me buttons, it tells you where they are and shows you where they are. And demonstrates and plays them for you, which is a great tool. So I encourage you to play around with all of the intuitive and interactive tools that your online text offers you, and you can find them everywhere. Again, the Show Me button is, in this particular example, is showing you what a half step and a whole step is. And it gives you opportunities to see them in many different formats. So there you go, and you can tell it to show me again, or you can try it yourself. An interesting prospect to be sure. You also have some other tools available to you with respect to listening. Anytime you see a little speaker, it's going to give you an audible soundbite. This is simply talking about pitches. Now I'm going to interject something to you here for those of you who may have difficulty hearing the difference between pitches, and some people do. This is nothing to be alarmed about or ashamed of. It is a phenomenon that some people are unable to distinguish pitch frequencies. In other words, they can't hear specific highs and lows of pitches. That's okay. It is not essential in order for you to pass this class. You may have some difficulties, but again, it's not an essential thing and you don't need to worry about it. Do notice, however, that even on this page, you can pull up that virtual keyboard anytime you want to use that keyboard. Anytime that symbol or that icon is available is an opportunity for you to pull that keyboard up and play around with it. So I encourage you, take a look, play around and experiment with all of these features. Now, when you want to get back to the contents page of our online text, simply go up here to this link right here where it says, has all these letters and numbers. Just click on that, and that brings you right back to the starting page of our online text. Now, your text might look slightly different because this is This is an instructor's edition. However, it is laid out identically to the students. Okay, so hopefully this has given you a good view of what it is that you're going to be looking at for our online text and for our e-learning site. Okay, so I hope you found that look at our e-learning site and our online text to be helpful and informative. I realize this is a very quick look at things, but you will be getting into it more in depth as we go along. We will be getting into it more in depth as we go along. As always, if you have questions, feel free to email me. If it becomes necessary, we can certainly set up a one-on-one face-to-face meeting in my office on campus at Delta, or we can also set up a Zoom meeting if that's more convenient for you. All I ask is that you email me ahead of time so that we know, when to get this done. Also, just please give it some time. This is a brand new semester. We're only 1 week in, so give it some time. There's always some glitches in the beginning, but they will be worked out. Everything's going to work out just fine. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I look forward to getting to work with each of you, even if it's only in cyberspace. And I look forward to reading your comments, your discussion topics, and of course, any assignments that we get to do together. So take care, folks, and we'll see you soon.
I'm a sentimental sap, that's all. What's the use of trying not to fall? I have no will, you made your kill, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm just like an apple on a bough, and you're gonna shake me down somehow. So what's the use? You've cooked my goose, 'cause you took advantage of me. I'm so hot and bothered that I don't know my elbow from my ear. I suffer something awful each time.